Welcome, treasure hunters and coin lovers. Today we step into the quiet, glittering world of the Liberty 1 cent coin, a small piece of metal that whispers stories louder than gold. At first glance, it may look ordinary, just a humble copper circle passed from hand to hand. But look closer, and you'll see history breathing inside it. The Lady Liberty design, proud and timeless, stands as a symbol of freedom, resilience, and a nation's identity captured in a single cent. This is not just pocket change. This is a miniature monument. Some Liberty 1 cent coins have traveled through centuries, surviving wars, economic storms, and countless forgotten pockets. Imagine the hands that held it. Merchants, soldiers, collectors, dreamers, each leaving behind an invisible trace of history. The worn edges, the faded shine, the delicate lettering, every mark is a chapter. And sometimes, hidden among these coins, there are rare varieties, minting quirks, and tiny details that can transform a simple cent into a collector's prize. So before you ignore that old penny, pause for a moment. That Liberty 1 cent coin might be more than copper. It might be a silent storyteller, a forgotten relic, or even the beginning of a valuable discovery. In this journey, we'll uncover what makes these coins special, how to spot the rare ones, and why collectors around the world still search for them with excitement. Stay with me, because the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. The moment a 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin slips into your palm, it looks ordinary, quiet, almost invisible among the countless copper coins that pass through hands every day. Yet hidden within that small disc of metal could be a story of rarity, a whisper of fortune, and a possibility that collectors dream about for decades. The 1988 Liberty cent, especially one carrying a rare mint mark or an unusual striking detail, has the power to transform from pocket change into a treasure that commands astonishing attention. In 1988, millions of 1 cent coins were produced, but not all were born equal. Some emerged from the mint with subtle variations, tiny anomalies, and unexpected details that separate them from the common crowd. These rare variations, sometimes involving mint marks, die shifts, or unusual metal composition, turn a humble penny into something collectors chase relentlessly. The difference between an ordinary coin and a prized rarity can be as small as a microscopic design change. Yet the value difference can be massive. The word liberty, stamped across the obverse of the 1988 cent, carries symbolic weight. It represents tradition, heritage, and continuity, but when combined with a rare mint mark, it becomes something more mysterious. A sharply struck D or P mint mark, or even a faint, misaligned, or a double version, can ignite excitement. Collectors examine the spacing, shape, and position of that tiny letter, knowing that one unusual detail could elevate the coin into a legendary discovery. Some 1988 Liberty cents appear with striking errors that feel almost accidental yet incredibly valuable. Imagine a coin where the design looks slightly doubled, the letters echoing themselves like a shadow. This doubling effect, especially when bold and clear, creates a dramatic visual that collectors instantly recognize. These doubled features make the coin appear alive, almost vibrating with motion, and such pieces can command extraordinary premiums. Another fascinating possibility lies in off-center strikes. A 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin struck slightly off-center can look incomplete, as if the design is drifting away. While this may seem like damage to an untrained eye, collectors see it as a rare minting moment frozen in time. The more dramatic the offset, while still showing the date, the more desirable the coin becomes, turning a simple penny into a prized collectible. There are also cases where the metal itself appears unusual. The 1988 cent normally carries a copper-plated zinc composition, but occasionally a coin may appear heavier, brighter, or slightly different in tone. These anomalies create speculation that the coin might have been struck on the wrong planchet. A wrong metal strike from that year becomes instantly captivating, especially if it carries a silvery or unusual appearance. Condition plays an enormous role in unlocking the hidden power of a 1988 Liberty cent, a coin that has never circulated, with blazing luster and razor-sharp detail, can appear almost untouched by time. When such pristine condition meets a rare mint mark or striking error, the value multiplies dramatically. Collectors compete fiercely for coins that look as though they were minted moments ago. The shine of an uncirculated 1988 Liberty cent often becomes the first clue. Under light, the surface may glow with a smooth, reflective sheen. This brilliance suggests minimal handling, and when paired with rare variation, it becomes irresistible. Collectors imagine owning a coin that survived decades without losing its original beauty. Some coins from 1988 reveal subtle die cracks, thin raised lines across the surface. These cracks form when minting dies begin to wear, leaving distinctive marks on coins struck afterward. While small cracks are common, dramatic ones create unique patterns that make each coin one of a kind. These natural signatures of the minting process transform a simple cent into a collectible conversation piece. The 1988 Liberty cent also holds intrigue in transitional design details. That year sits near a period where subtle design adjustments occurred, and occasionally coins show combinations that weren't meant to exist together. These transitional features create mystery, and mystery drives demand. When collectors discover such pieces, they often treat them as hidden treasures. The edges of the coin can reveal additional secrets. A clean, sharp rim suggests a strong strike, while unusual thickness or irregular shape hints at a minting anomaly. These small physical clues may not be obvious at first glance, but they can dramatically increase desirability. A coin that looks slightly different in shape often sparks immediate curiosity. Time adds another layer of drama. Over decades, many 1988 Liberty cents were lost, damaged, or worn down. The survivors in exceptional condition become increasingly scarce. As scarcity rises, so does fascination, and fascination fuels value. A coin overlooked for years can suddenly become the centerpiece of a collector's hunt. Some collectors describe finding a rare 1988 Liberty cent as a moment of disbelief. The coin might appear ordinary at first, but under magnification, the truth emerges. The mint mark looks different, the letters show doubling, or the strike reveals something unusual. That realization transforms a coin instantly from pocket change into a potential prize. The thrill surrounding these coins comes from unpredictability. No one expects a 1-cent coin to carry extraordinary value. Yet history has shown that small denominations sometimes hide the biggest surprises. This contrast between face value and collector demand creates the dramatic appeal that draws attention to the 1988 Liberty cent. When demand grows, collectors begin competing. Auctions, private deals, and quiet negotiations follow. The more unique the coin, the more intense the competition becomes. A rare 1988 Liberty cent with exceptional features can ignite bidding wars, pushing the value far beyond expectations. The phrase, "don't spend it," echoes among collectors for a reason. A rare coin mixed with everyday change can disappear instantly into circulation. Once lost, it may never be identified again. That's why careful inspection of a 1988 Liberty cent becomes crucial, especially when unusual details stand out. Lighting also plays a dramatic role in revealing value. Tilting the coin slowly can expose doubling, surface texture, and luster. What appears plain under dull light may transform under bright illumination. Many rare coins reveal their secrets only when viewed from the right angle. The story of the 1972 Liberty 1-cent coin begins like a quiet whisper in a pocket, the kind of ordinary copper-colored piece that most people ignore. Yet hidden among millions of identical coins lies a version that collectors speak about with fascination and suspense. It is the 1972 mint mark cent, a coin that appears simple at first glance, but holds the potential to transform from everyday change into a prize that sparks imagination and fuels dreams of sudden fortune. In 1972, countless pennies rolled out of the mint, but a few were struck under unusual conditions. These rare examples carry subtle differences, slightly shifted letters, double impressions, or striking anomalies that create a visual echo on the surface. To the untrained, they seem normal, but to collectors they shine like treasure. The difference between a common cent and a rare one is often no more than a tiny detail that most people would never notice. The word Liberty on the coin is where many of the mysteries live. On certain rare 1972 pieces, the lettering appears doubled or unusually bold, almost as if the coin was stamped twice in a single heartbeat. This doubling transforms a simple inscription into a dramatic signature. When light hits those raised edges, the coin suddenly looks more alive, more intense, and far more valuable than its ordinary cousins. Collectors often describe the discovery of such a coin as electrifying. Imagine searching through a jar of old change and noticing the date 1972. Your pulse quickens, you tilt the coin, and suddenly the details appear sharper, deeper, almost dramatic. In that moment, the coin stops being pocket change and becomes a possibility, an artifact that can command astonishing attention in the collector's world. Some of the most talked about 1972 mint mark cents are those struck with dramatic doubling on the date and the word Liberty. These pieces appear as though the design vibrates, creating a shadowed outline around the numbers. The effect is subtle but powerful. When magnified, the doubling looks like a ghost image, turning a small copper disc into a visual puzzle that collectors love to chase. Condition plays a powerful role in the coin's worth. A worn example may still hold interest, but a bright, uncirculated 1972 Liberty cent with crisp details can ignite fierce competition. The surface glows, the edges remain sharp, and every letter stands proud. Such coins are treasured because they preserve the exact moment they were struck decades ago, frozen in metal. The idea that a single penny could be worth an extraordinary sum fuels endless curiosity. While most 1972 cents are common, the rare varieties with striking anomalies can command surprising attention. Collectors are willing to pay significant amounts for coins that combine rarity, clarity, and visual drama. That combination is what elevates a simple cent into something unforgettable. Another layer of intrigue comes from mint marks. A small letter beneath the date, sometimes overlooked, can transform the story entirely. Different mint locations produce slightly different coins, and certain combinations of mint mark and doubling are far scarcer than others. This tiny letter becomes a silent clue, guiding collectors toward hidden value. The copper tone of the 1972 coin also adds to its charm. Over decades, some coins develop deep chocolate hues, while others retain bright reddish luster. When a rare variety still holds its original shine, it looks almost untouched by time. That visual freshness often amplifies collector demand and pushes values higher. Stories circulate among enthusiasts about coins found in jars, drawers, and forgotten boxes. Someone sorting through change discovers a 1972 cent, studies it carefully, and realizes it carries the telltale signs of rarity. Moments like these feed the dream that extraordinary value might be hiding in ordinary places. The fascination grows when people realize how small the difference can be. A slight doubling, a bold liberty, or a crisp date can separate a common coin from a sought-after piece. This delicate line between ordinary and rare is what makes the hunt thrilling. Every coin becomes worth a second look. Some collectors preserve these coins in protective holders, treating them like miniature works of art. The coin is no longer spent or traded casually. Instead, it becomes part of a collection, admired under light, studied with magnification, and passed carefully from one enthusiast to another. The passage of time only deepens the mystique. Coins from 1972 carry decades of history. They traveled through countless hands, bought small items, and lived quiet lives before being rediscovered. When a rare one surfaces, it feels like history revealing itself in the most unexpected form. The dramatic appeal of the 1972 Liberty cent also lies in its accessibility. Unlike large gold coins, this treasure could be hiding anywhere. That possibility creates excitement. Every pocketful of change becomes an adventure. Every coin jar a potential discovery. Collectors often emphasize patience. The rare coin may not appear immediately, but persistence can pay off. The search itself becomes part of the story, a slow unfolding of suspense that builds until the right coin finally appears. When a high-quality rare example surfaces, attention quickly follows. Collectors examine photos, compare details, and debate its uniqueness. The coin becomes the center of conversation, admired not for size, but for the mystery captured in its tiny surface. The 1972 Liberty 1-cent coin reminds people that value isn't always obvious. Something small, overlooked, and nearly forgotten can hold remarkable appeal. This idea fuels imagination and keeps collectors searching. For those who stumble upon such a coin, the moment can feel unforgettable. The discovery transforms a simple piece of copper into a symbol of possibility. It represents patience, curiosity, and the thrill of finding something special where others saw nothing. In the end, the legend of the 1972 mint-marked Liberty cent continues to captivate. It stands as proof that even the smallest coin can carry a dramatic story, and that hidden within everyday change may lie a piece that sparks wonder, excitement, and the dream of unexpected fortune. The 1962 Liberty 1 cent coin sits quietly in forgotten drawers, dusty jars, and worn leather wallets. Yet within its small copper-colored body lives a story that collectors describe as almost mythical. At first glance, it looks ordinary, a humble coin that passed through grocery counters and bus fares decades ago. But the moment a rare mint mark, an unusual shine, or a striking flaw appears on its surface, the coin transforms from pocket change into a silent treasure. Suddenly, what once bought a piece of candy becomes a symbol of hidden wealth waiting to be discovered. The year 1962 carries a mysterious aura in the world of coin collecting. During that period, coins were produced in enormous numbers, yet only a tiny fraction emerged with distinctive characteristics that now captivate collectors. These rare variations, subtle differences in strike pressure, alignment, or mint mark clarity, turn a routine minting process into a stage for accidental masterpieces. When such a coin survives in pristine condition, untouched by time, it becomes a kind of discovery that sends shockwaves through auctions and private collections. Some collectors whisper about 1962 Liberty cents that appear unusually brilliant, almost glowing with a silvery tone. These are not ordinary pieces. They often owe their unique appearance to experimental planchets, striking anomalies, or a rare preservation that keeps the surface luminous. When one of these coins emerges, it captures attention instantly because its shine defies expectations. That strange, almost silver-like glow fuels speculation and excitement, pushing collectors to compete fiercely for ownership. The mint mark on a 1962 Liberty cent is where the real drama begins. A tiny letter beneath the date can transform the coin's destiny. When the mark is bold, perfectly struck, or accompanied by unusual spacing, collectors recognize the possibility of rarity. Even more thrilling are coins with mint mark appears doubled, misaligned, or faint. These subtle differences create a narrative of minting history frozen in metal, and that narrative is what collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to possess. Condition is another force that shapes the coin's value. A 1962 Liberty cent preserved in near-perfect form, with sharp details and untouched surfaces, looks as though it escaped time itself. The portrait remains crisp, the lettering stands tall, and the coin's luster dances under light. Such examples are incredibly scarce because most coins circulated heavily. When one appears in exceptional condition, it becomes a prize that collectors chase with relentless determination. Sometimes, the real magic comes from minting errors. A slightly off-center strike, a double design, or an unusual metal blend can elevate a 1962 Liberty cent into legendary territory. These errors are accidents, yet they create uniqueness that cannot be reproduced. Each flawed coin becomes one of a kind, and that uniqueness transforms it into a story collectors crave. The rarer the error, the more dramatic the jump in perceived value. The imagination of collectors often turns these coins into symbols of overnight fortune. The idea that a small penny could unlock life-changing wealth fuels endless excitement. People check jars, search old piggy banks, and examine inherited collections, hoping to find that one extraordinary piece. The possibility alone gives a 1962 Liberty cent an almost magical reputation, as though destiny could hide inside a tiny circle of metal. Another layer of intrigue comes from coins that were stored away immediately after minting. These pieces never experienced circulation, and therefore retain their original brilliance. When such a coin from 1962 surfaces decades later, it feels like opening a time capsule. The untouched shine, the clean edges, and the fresh appearance create a powerful visual impact that collectors instantly recognize as special. Collectors also admire coins with deep, mirror-like surfaces. These rare examples reflect light dramatically, creating a stunning contrast between raised details and polished fields. When a 1962 Liberty cent displays this effect, it commands attention. The coin looks more like a crafted jewel than everyday currency, and that transformation fuels the belief that its value could soar beyond expectations. There is also fascination surrounding coins with unusual color variations. Some 1962 Liberty cents develop rich tones, ranging from golden highlights to subtle silvery hues. These natural changes, combined with rarity, create a visual signature that collectors adore. A coin with unique coloration often becomes memorable, and memorability is a powerful ingredient in driving extraordinary demand. The thrill intensifies when collectors discover coins with sharp, bold lettering and flawless rims. These features signal a strong strike, something not always achieved during mass production. A well-struck 1962 Liberty cent stands out immediately, and collectors know that such precision is rare. This clarity adds prestige, turning the coin into a standout piece. Stories circulate about collectors stumbling upon these coins by accident. A forgotten envelope, a family heirloom, or a roll of old pennies suddenly reveals a gem. These discoveries create legends, reinforcing the belief that fortune can appear without warning. The 1962 Liberty cent becomes more than a coin. It becomes a symbol of hidden opportunity. The excitement grows when multiple rare traits appear together. Imagine a coin with a bold mint mark, pristine condition, unusual shine, and a subtle error. Such a combination is extraordinarily rare, and collectors would consider it a dream find. The more unique qualities a coin holds, the more dramatic its perceived worth becomes. Time itself adds to the coin's mystique. Over decades, many coins were lost, damaged, or melted. Surviving high-quality examples became increasingly scarce. This shrinking supply intensifies demand, making each rare 1962 Liberty cent feel more precious with every passing year. The coin's small size makes its potential value even more astonishing. Something so tiny holding immense worth creates a powerful contrast. That contrast fuels fascination, as people imagine life-changing wealth hidden in the palm of their hand. It's this dramatic difference between size and value that makes the 1962 Liberty cent unforgettable.